Now, last night at Futures First Education, I taught my Delta 50 and Delta 10 strategies with ES futures options. It was huge. A $5,000. If you'd put $5,000 in that trade, you'd been walking away with about 20+% today if you had done it the way I said to do it. And that was what the education was about. Now, who made that trade? Somebody tell me they made the trade and posted some bucks on it. I called the actual, told it was going to go up to 92. It made it. So if you were there last night and took that trade, I'm telling you, Monday night's good. Okay. Pretty good. Lester, we'll do another one for you. We'll do another one for you. Now, who was able to take that trade last night at talk? I made the trade, and way to go, Pete. All right. All right, the moneymaker target now is 67.05. The low is 66.72. Jonathan, we probably are to adjust that. It's 66.72. That was the opening. Let me give you the number down there, okay? 66.72. Let me look here real quick. I got the number. Yeah, 62 and 45. I would go with 62. Go with 62 right now for the lower one, 66.62.
Okay, let me update this slide here.
And folks, y'all know how to adjust it when you have an adjustment. Once you hit a target like that, you probably ought to adjust it, and it's taken out to 72, but 62 is the next support. This is very helpful, especially if you're trying to sell premium or do things in that vein, okay? I want to remind people Friday afternoon at 2, we'll meet again on our retirement center. Hope everybody can join me there. If you want to be part of it, all you have to do is join the room. That's where we give notice to that on Friday afternoon at 2. If you got a retirement account, you can just see how we do it. Jim said he popped $300 off the thing. If you need a referral, go to Roe at DTI Trader. He'll give you the VIP referral from me to you to them. I would encourage you to do it that way. Roe at DTI Trader. Gives a stroke with Tasty Trade when they see all the people's in there, right? Okay. Next week, we got our class on Monday and Tuesday. I'm excited about that. We'll have a little fun there next week. What a week to have a class. That's a great timing. Great timing, they say. Great timing. Now, if you do join the futures, I want to tell you, you'll get a year of that online. Let me ask this question. Who would like to learn how to pick up an extra $500 a week? As a simple goal, not much money to do that. Who would like to learn how to do that? $500 a week, you meet on Monday night. Who would like to learn how to do that? Well, you need to be part of this program, the Futures First Education. We got a special right now. Maybe they can type that in there. If you want to join for the end of the year to see what I'm talking about and then track it against that goal, we got a real special going on right now for Futures Education, and you can do it by hitting the following link. They'll post it in there. Yeah, you don't have to travel for that. This is online. There's a link for the end of the year if you want to join. You ought to try it out and see if you can meet that objective. Let's see. Adam, what are we charging for the end of the year program for the special we're running? All right, $3.99. So if you learn how, let's do the math. It costs you $3.99 and you average 2,000 a month. 2006 be 6,000. That's pretty good education there. Kicker. Take me up on this offer. I'm gonna pull it if you don't. It's a heck of an offer I did. I want everybody to have it this last quarter with me. Just see how powerful it is. We got it finessed down. Just ask the people in there. They love it, love it, love it. We got, I think, Jonathan, what we got, 25, 30 lessons that they could review? Different markets, education.
Minimum 25, 30 lessons.
Yeah, it's a huge course now that gives you time to do one about every day and be a lot better trader if you use futures. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there today. Make sure you saw that if you get a chance. Jonathan, talk about our newsletter. You're pretty proud of that, and I think I am too. How the success, we got over 500 people, members of our weekly newsletter. Say anything important this week?
Yeah, I'd say so. The Fed was a focus this week for the newsletter. And of course, that Fed meeting is tomorrow, but every Monday after the close, this is released. Tom and I put together a broad market update. Tom gives us broad market update, about a paragraph worth there, what he expects for the week. We remind you of the key news we have going on. If there's any earnings during earnings season. And then you get Tom's Magic 5 stocks with his trigger numbers, his support and resistance.
I don't think anybody's paying for this one. I think people's got scholarships time 10x on this one. This thing is so good. Having that document to operate on, and Chuck does a report on Wednesday to show you and highlight things. So it's really a heck of a one. If you want to get signed up, take a second and sign up. Comes out after 4 on Mondays. Now, after Mondays, we know a lot more about the week, and that's when we publish it then to give you a hard copy of where we think the money is that week. Does everybody agree with me? This is a great time newsletter. It comes out every Monday. What about the price? You think that's too low? People that think they don't get their money's worth or something?
$9.97. I think it's too low.
Kevin says, real insights that happened on that letter. Yep, absolutely. Released after Monday at the close. All right. We like to show it to people because we have a lot of new people that pass through, and this might get them involved with us, and that's why we put it at that price. Loss leader is what they call it. It's a loss leader. All right, Jonathan, this is on you. Let's see if today's breather changed anything. Take it away.
September stocks. Okay, let me get it updated here before we talk through it. Today is September 16th. It's about 11:11 in the morning.
That sounds good. 11:11.
11:11. Late morning, at least. The way this works, if you save the spreadsheet, every time I update it, you get to see that update.
I see nothing but green.
A lot of green, that's true. A lot of green. What this is Tom developed an algo we call the first 3 days, or FTD algo. It's the first 3 trade days of the month. you mark the high and the low from those 3 trade days, the highest high and the lowest low. And that's what you see here with the FTD high and FTD low column. For example, the S&P made a high in the first 3 days of 65.16, and it made a low of 63.71. Now, the goal of this spreadsheet is to tell us, are there any futures or stocks that are above their first 3-day high? And that would be the case in this above FTD high column. All the ones that say long match that criteria. Or if there's any that are below the low from the first 3 days of the month. That's what this column out here to the right is. That is mostly blank. There might be there's one short Berkshire. It was that way yesterday too, if you were here yesterday. But that's it. Mostly green, a few neutrals, and one short. So that paints a pretty clear picture of the market for the month so far. We're about halfway through the month. And of course, we have the Fed tomorrow, but it's been a very clear picture of this month, September. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah, keep this sheet on your computer because every time we update, even if you're not here, yours will be updated, right, Jonathan?
Every time I update my spreadsheet, you can see the update.
Very valuable foundational sheet for the month. So how good is this? Had us getting long when everybody else was talking about the market going down. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good algorithm right there to keep you on the right side of the market. Susan, Jonathan answered that question.
Just did. Thanks, Susan.
All right, everything looks good. We just waiting for hey, what was that short there that went by? Berkshire's short again, isn't it? Goodness. 3 out of 4 months it's been short, had 1 month of being up. That stock's struggling with Buffett getting out of the biz. Okay. The dividend payers, they're at the end. If you look there, those are the ones that I would currently look at. Ones that say long, the other ones I'd stay off of until they turn green. All right. All right, train and trade, Monday through Friday. Sound like a plan? Now, keep in mind, if we do trades in here, we track it over in our 24-hour room, which is T-Buzz Talk and Trade. How valuable is that? For example, say I put on a trade on Google. Well, I'm going to track it over there for you, what we do, where you can see what we're doing and how we're doing it. If there's any changes to what we say, that way we can be responsible for what we say and follow up with it. Okay, pretty good stuff. So today's focus is why Tuesdays can pay. We'll stop before we go to these 3 examples. I want to ask you the big question. What do we know on Tuesday for the first time? Here's what we know. We know stocks that are higher than last week. Does everybody understand the logic there? They're trending higher. And after Monday, we know that information. So look, we got 3 stocks we're going to look at. Google, Uber, and QQQ. Let's go through 3 examples to show you what we're talking about. Okay, Google's current price, 251.72. That's when he made the slide. Okay, 251.72. Last week's high was 242. So the question is Google higher than last week? That's the question that's going to pop into your head. Yeah, it's higher than last week. Monday's high was 252.75. Today's high is 253.23. So is Google bullish or bearish regardless of the fact the market's down? So if it's bullish, do you want to buy it while it's stagnant, or do you want to buy it once it starts moving again? I choose to buy it when it starts moving again. That's why I use a pivot number like I did this morning of 252.55. Okay? That's the way I like to trade. I don't like to be stuck in something, even though I think it might go up tomorrow or the next day. I want to be in with my money working for me that day. Does everybody understand the rationale behind that? So we're patient and we're waiting. But Google's on the mark. Okay? That's Google. Uber is a stock that I got on, and it's been paying us every trade we made in it. Today's high was 99.70, which is higher than yesterday's high. Is that bullish or bearish? So Uber falls into the same category, going higher. So then you got to say, well, where's Uber today? Well, if you go look at Uber today, let me check it real quick. I got it right here. Uber is 97.88, 97.90. Is it time to buy Uber? No, it's not bearish, but it's not time to buy it. Again, patience. Wait and see. Stop right there, John, before you go to the last one. Does everybody understand this process I'm teaching you today? It's so important to learn this. You just don't, shoot your gun off like you wouldn't shoot your mouth off, okay? You wait until the market starts moving. Because Uber might correct. Don't rush things. Patience will pay, as Buck just said. Okay. All right, the last one. QQQ. Current price of the QQQ is $591.25. Last week's high was $587. Monday's high is $591.79. Today's high is $592.86. This is a broad-based index that's bullish, but again, right now is not the time to buy the QQQ. So we've got 3 great stocks that should pay us this week. I've identified them for you, and now you got to wait for entry based on the current price. Do you wonder how a guy can have a 90% accuracy rate? This is how I do it, what I just taught you. I won't trade if the odds are not in my favor. I don't care. I will not trade unless the odds are in my favor. And that's one thing that's made a big difference in what we do. Any questions about the training we just gave? Pretty good, isn't it? Learning this kind of stuff. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it works. How do I know? Look at all the people that's been following me for years, and look at all the people that just found out about me, like a Jennifer, and they dial in because they know you're going to get the best of the best. Heck, they made a song about me, T-Buzz. You just heard it. The DTI method really works. That's from a 30-year plus veteran just said that. Okay? Now here's some roadmap insights. I'm working on something for the roadmap. 10 valuable insights that I believe will help grow your account. The custom page. It's the uniqueness of our software allows me to pull data from your typical beyond your open, high, low, and closed data like most watch things. The roadmap software is much more oriented to the 24-hour analysis than anything else you'll find out there. I've got a certain setup I use, and you've seen it if you've been there in person, right? For example, we pull in the open of our most recent reference bar, which tells me a lot. That's the beauty of it. Okay, that's the beauty of it. What are reference bars? You got to ask that question. Reference bars are 30-minute bars or candles strategically placed around the clock at certain key times, and they serve as guideposts during that cycle. The anchoring that comes about from these bars, you gain key numbers of support and resistance better than any technical analysis you'll ever screw with. You're different than most people, and that's what's unique about our software. Helps you identify those particulars. In other words, tracking our reference bars allows us to see the controlling numbers during that time period of the day. And Jonathan's posted right here, see that RB open and last? Everybody see that? So the market came down today, right? We knew that. Look at that. Open at 66.85, at 66.68, way before people say, hey, it's breaking this moving average or whatever it's doing. Okay, that's what we did. Very important. Here's a list of all 7 reference bars. We got white papers. I haven't put that in there if you want more details than this, but these are the times that I pay attention to at night. Last night, I used these times in Futures First to book a whole bunch of money. This morning, I used these times to save a whole bunch of money. And it works for any ticker out there as they travel around the clock. Folks, I got it. Learn it. You don't have to lose what I lost, okay? You don't have to lose what I lost to learn all this stuff. All you have to do is talk to our students. If you ever come live, you'll talk to some of our students who've been with me a long time. They will tell you, hey, why do you stay with Tom all these years in DTI? The roadmap software. That's one. The midpoint, the 5-day midpoint, to give you potential levels for risk control. You got to set stops on these things. You just can't go blindly into a position. But you'll notice my custom page gives those numbers to me around the clock. They tell me where support is, right? And the market was due for a breather. Everybody see that 66.81 right there, the day's midpoint? Everybody see that? We're trading 67. Am I trying to buy the market right now? No. I'm too far below that technical point there of the day's trade. Saving me money. Not seeing things that's not true. Following the market. Any market out there you can track this way, and it will help you stay on the right side. The compass chart. No chart like this in the world because it gives you a visual picture with key numbers right on one little page. Tells you where to buy, where to sell. Everybody look at that? That's going into a sell signal on that E-mini right there, okay? Where am I wrong? Well, if it got above 75, I'd be wrong. Looking at that compass chart right there. Where should it go if it goes to a full-fledged sell? Down to the target. And that target is, I can't see it right there, Jonathan, you might tell him if it went to a full-fledged target today. That's it. That tells you on the E-mini, you can do this on any ticker out there. How many people love the way we've got this organized once you learn it? Isn't it great how easy it is to see it in real time? I think so. All right. The compass metrics will give you what I call the story of the stock. Over on the left-hand side, you saw all those gray numbers. over there in the right. That's all the numbers for that ticker for the entire year. You don't have to go, you're a trader. You don't have time to call your research department and say, hey, where's support? Where's resistance? Where all that stuff? Okay. It's right there in front of you, looking at your compass chart. Now, the compass chart includes proprietary buy and sell zones. I told you that. There's 4 simple patterns you got to learn to trade any stock with these zones. And Jonathan, am I going to come back and do this, or what's the story here?
Stick around till the end of the session, and Tom's going to show you the 4 patterns.
Okay, so what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? RB frame, that's the playing field. That's on that chart. Go back to the chart. Everybody see the frame? Everybody see that frame right there? We're at the lower end of the frame. The market's at support right now. So you got to wait and play it out. That's what it's telling you. And you got to look at time of day. We're about to start Genesis. So they're going to redraw it for us. What happens at Genesis? 4 out of 5 days, it marks the low or high of the day. Today, it looks like there's a chance it's going to mark the low. If it marks the low, now we got the bottom of the day's market and it starts rebuilding itself. If it's continuation, it breaks that and goes that way the rest of the day. Key time, 11:30 to 12. We call it Genesis. Okay. ETR is my favorite. This is one of my favorite features because I'm a tape reader. I can look up there right now and see the market's under pressure. I can see that crude oil's got a bid. I can see that MU's got a bid. I can see that Google's backed away from a buy. I can see everything with that. I can see Apple's got a bid. This is what I can do with my ETR line. I love it, love it, love it. I got a whole page dedicated to ETR line over here. I track it around the clock. What about if I do a plan and think the market's going up, but I need to know what's going down? I've got numerous scans inside the Roadmap software to identify that. My favorite's called the high noon. The high noon focuses on the simple higher high buy pattern, lower low sell pattern, but it's good because it's inside the DTI method. It will tee up for me stocks either going up or going down. This is looked on a week by week basis, adding the monthly open as a key metric. That's every stock out there, but sometimes that's confusing. What if I want to know what's long? There's the stocks that are long. It identifies the top 20 out of all those stocks. If I was playing the market long, that's where I'd look. Look at Oklo. You heard about it. What if I'm playing the market short? Then I'd go there and look at those stocks that are short and see if anyone is set up in the compass. If I thought we were going to go down to the target today. Okay? That's the beautiful thing about it. In less than 30 seconds, I can find out which stocks are leading the market up or down. Hey, I had to call you back. Okay. That's the Roadmap Moneymaker. This feature gives me support and resistance once I establish, based on the many, where support and resistance should come in for it. And I do that 4 times a day inside the TNT room. Okay? So you never have to guess what they are. We publish it in the evening. We publish it in the morning. We publish it after 10. And we publish it between 12 and 3 for the end of the day. What a great account TNT is. Let me talk you through this. Notice we've got a high up there at 67.05. Let's say the market gets bullish and I want to do a diamond call, my target would be that number, and I can't read it, but it looks like about 460.40, isn't it? Something like that. Or say I want to buy the TQQ because it's turned bullish. My target would be 100.78. Or Apple. That's where my target would be if I got long Apple. Or gold. All these identify key levels without doing any work at all using the money maker. And Jonathan, on the next time we do that, you already have money maker across the top where they know where to find it. The money maker. I love the money maker. Updated 4 times in the evening, early morning, after 10 in the morning, between 12 and 3. We keep it updated for you. The great insights the money maker can give you where to sell options for premium capture. Anybody here like to sell options? How would you like to have the money maker tell you the level based on the S&P? That way you only got to look at one number if you're selling a bunch of options. Debbie said that's all she does. You'd love this tool, Debbie. Love it, love it, love it. Now, an example. If I wanted to sell something today, I would sell something below on the TQQ. What is that, 98? I'd go find me a put and sell it. If I wanted to sell a call, it would be above 101. So I might do an iron condor. That's just an example. Or Apple, I might sell a 38 put on an Apple today. That's how that works. Now here's one that we put in there because a lot of people's always ask me, Tom, where do you think this is going? Well, guess what? Now you know as much as I know when I look at a stock. Let's take a look at it. It's based on what the market makers say, and that's what we look at. So let's take a look. The predictor was developed to do that. Tesla. Anybody interested in where Tesla's going? Jonathan, tell them how high it's going, when it's going to get there. If it goes up.
Okay, based on the options yesterday for October 17th, the target is 479.
So hold it. Let me get this straight. If we get bullish on Tesla going into October, and Tesla goes up from 418, it's going to make it to almost 480. Y'all like having information like that? I do. That's pretty good stuff. It's an unbiased view if based on what the market should do, based on what the stock has done and where it's headed. That's Tesla, okay? That alone is worth a fortune. Apple. Okay, if we were talking about Apple's got a bid. Where's Apple going? 247. What date is it going to get there, Jonathan? By October 3rd?
Right. That's what the predictor's saying.
Well, iPhone, we put it out this morning on the Tuesday Power Play. You need to send Roe at DTI Trader an email where he can help you out. But I'd pay attention to this right now. This is very valuable to know this stuff. Roe at DTI Trader. Send him an email. He'll get you straight. We've been doing it for 3 weeks. There's some great trades. Got to learn how to get there, right? Okay. QQQ, 613.16. Now I'm going to do, I'll tell you this right now. Once we get into October, I'm going to do a Delta 50 strategy on the QQQ because that's big money there, I think. Okay. Research key, this is one of our oldest features. Chuck used to research all this stuff, and I said, there's got to be a better way to do it. The research queue allows us to go back in time, look at any ticker where it's trading on a 30-minute basis, a daily basis, weekly, or even on a monthly basis. So it gives you that history maybe sometimes you don't have with the stock. There's a weekly look. And Jonathan, explain what they're looking at there.
Well, on a weekly basis, this is the open, high, low, close, and even midpoint, volume midpoint. of the S&P futures, the December contract. So you want to look back through there at the opens and then perhaps the highs and see if you find some repeated numbers. Some repeated numbers means more relevance.
So if you hadn't been trading, all of a sudden you want to know how low's this baby been? You go look and find out the low there, and you get a picture down there. Okay. In June is at 6,000 and a quarter on it. Went down to 59.69 in June. Look at it now. Look at where it was when I told everybody to get long in July 21st, 6,300. We're at 6,600. That's 300 points. What a buy signal I gave. All right, what's next? Trade Tracker. All right, this is something I developed for my weekend research. It's great for setting up trades on a monthly basis. And this is where it comes from, the Trade Tracker. We use that algo you see us use all the time. All right, Jonathan, explain what they're looking at.
If you were here earlier when we showed you the spreadsheet we show you every time, you'll probably notice this looks somewhat similar to that spreadsheet. That's because it's based on the spreadsheet's based on the trade tracker. You get the FTD high and low right there for you. We even give you the week start. That's what WS stands for, a week start. So that's Monday's high and low. Now, if you get green across the board, everything's really looking good. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green boxes in a row. That's things are really looking good. We don't have that today with the market pulling back some, but the 6681 number, which we found interestingly enough was today's midpoint, that's actually the high for Monday. So if we get above that, you'd have green across the board on the S&P futures and things are looking pretty good. If that were to happen, then most of your stocks would follow suit as well. We got
75% of all your stocks would follow suit. So you ought to write that number down, 6681. It might come into play tomorrow.
There you go. That's the trade tracker.
Now, this is something I made because people were getting confused. So just make it so simple they can't screw it up. This is the 5-star master sheet, about as simple as it comes. You got to count to 5, okay? And you're looking for 5 green stars or 5 red stars to tell you a high odds opportunity, okay? So you look there at all those different stocks. Amazon's 5 green stars right there. Everybody see that? So they're basically saying you ought to play in Amazon sandbox when you see that, okay? Or Apple has got to get above 250 to turn its year positive, but there's Apple getting there. That's where your resistance is. That's how you use it. Google, like I said, it's pausing a day, daily RB, but you could turn positive. It takes out that high of the day. This is a great, simple, rule-based method that allows you to know exactly what I look at, okay? Which was our whole attempt by putting this together. Now, Genesis. We ought to have a moment of silence for Genesis because this is so key to your understanding trend. And we have to understand trend. Genesis happens between 11:30 and 12. That hour is big. 4 out of 5 days, write this down, okay? 4 out of 5 days, this is going to be your lower high for today, this range. One of the most important times out there. I've got it computerized now with Genesis. 11:30 Eastern time, the European markets closed down for the day. It leaves U.S. market in control. And that's a big observation right there. You've heard of big days in the market. Well, if you get a continuation day, it's usually a big day, whatever direction it's in. A continuation day is defined where the low or high is not marked by Genesis. At 1 out of 5 times, that's when it really expands. That tells you the odds of how important this time is each day. Now, the automated trade that we put together here during this time period does a lot of capture for us to keep us straight. Identifying the true breakout days of the week, what it does, and it helps us. Let me cover the 4 patterns that get you going, okay? The penetration bar into that buy zone, confirmed by the bar after that, that's a buy signal. Can y'all remember that one? Tell me yes if you can remember what a buy signal looks like. That's it right there. Burn that into your brain. It will make you money. Now, buy failure happens when it goes into the buy area and then breaks below the bar that penetrated. It typically goes to the other target. That's good information to know. Okay? Very important once that penetration bar is broken to the downside. Sell signal works the opposite of a buy, goes into the sell area and then confirm, get to the target or lower. The sell signal happens a lot during bull markets. We're in a bull market where it tries to go down like it did. Notice it penetrated over half of the sell area and then reversed and went up to the top of the bar. So in a bull market, I'm looking at buy signals and sell failures for big trades. If you learned something today and decide you want to get involved in a roadmap, go to dtitrader.com/roadmap. Okay? We'll get you set up and now you'll have this working for you. Now, this is a critical week in the stock market. Tomorrow is a big interest rate day. The odds say we're going to get 25 cents. It's time to pay attention. Wealth building opportunities are created when you have these cycles. So you go from restrictive, which we've been in, to loose, which we're going in. A lot of things will change in underlying equities. You got to know that. These rate cut cycles are wealth building opportunities. Not everything goes up. You got to know what sectors will go up and play it. And make them prove it to you. You have to know where to put your money. The ones we're looking for are the stocks that are going to leave everybody else behind. That's called relative performance. You don't want any of those poison pills in your account. It'll create new leaders and pretty much overnight new losers. If you are inactive during this period of time, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. Take a look at that chart. Red line's the Fed funding rate. And you're going to see banks, you're going to see everybody adjusting their thinking after that's made true tomorrow. A significant cut and a pattern of cutting really provides fuel for this market. That's the last time. Look at that fuel. Look what happened. Y'all remember when we went that cycle? Question now, where do we go next? I think it's going to be one of the best opportunities we have, and I want you to be part and prepared for. I prepared, as you well know. Let's prepare. Let's prepare together. We come up with the T-Buzz rate cut playbook. I'll teach it next Wednesday and next Friday. Your roadmap to trade, invest in a falling rate environment. I've got a team that's helped me pull out a whole bunch of great stuff to share with you. And I'll take my experience and lead you through this master class over 2 days. This focus will be take advantage of the next year in a rate cut environment. Here's some of the things that we'll cover, probably plus some other things, but we'll try to find in module 1, stocks are going to outperform. If you're going to take risks, might as well get paid the most, right? Why get paid minimum wage when you get paid maximum wage by having the right ticker? That's the beautiful thing about it. Module 1. The Fed meeting. How to take the announcement they make tomorrow, digest it, and tell you what it really meant. That's why we're doing it next Wednesday and Friday. Dividends. You know, I've never been a dividend trader, but I am now because thanks to Carol, she got me interested in it, and I love these weekly payers. We'll talk about that and strategies for stability and growth. Pretty cool stuff. We'll talk about how to rotate your stocks on a monthly basis, when to press harder, when to pull back, and adapting if they change course on you. Two sessions next week. We'll get together, take as long as we need. We'll do that next week. Instead of charging the regular fee of $4.97, we cut it down. I think our track record in education speaks for itself. All you gotta do, don't ask me. Listen to what these students say. She is making her living now in the stock market because she took the chance on DTI. Another great student's been Deb. Deb is a very smart lady, and she part of our group of people that come to the classes and do things. I'm doing a one-on-one with her this month or next month. Carlos, now if you meet Carlos, you bet the guy that walked off the swimsuit catalog works for Google, but he's been preparing with us for now 5 years for the time he doesn't work for Google anymore. Great guy. Everybody likes Carlos, don't they? How about old Edwin? Everybody likes Edwin. Edwin's been with me over 15 years. You're going to be successful. You'll meet him. They put their dues in, they paid a lot of money to us, and they keep coming back because what we have is an ever increasing flow of great information that allows you to grow your account, which is why you're here. We cut the price of this project next week, $199. Then I came up with this great idea yesterday. I said, what about if we did a trade to get a scholarship? People that did that trade yesterday are well on their way of getting a scholarship. And then I said to myself, well, since we're talking about it, I ought to do another one. So look for one tomorrow after the Fed. Jonathan, remind me, okay? Another scholarship trade coming to my rate cut playbook. So make sure you get on list. The way we're going to contact you just have you email and send it out to you tomorrow afternoon. Could be Thursday morning if it's not set up, but we're going to do it. So be part of it. Get signed up right now. Call 904-706-3532. Take this heavily discounted price. Make sure you own the list. In fact, if you sign up, once you send Roe at DTI Trader, say, hey, make sure I'm going to be informed. I don't want anybody to fall out of the pack. We're almost topped out at the number of students we're going to take. Not there yet, so don't hesitate. Any questions about the playbook? It's coming. All right. I decided what I'm going to do. Way to go, Bill. Bill just said, I just signed up. I got one of those spots. Way to go, Bill. I decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back today at 3. I'm going to talk about SPX/XSP. So try to be there at 3 today. We'll see if this market does stabilize. We don't know if it will or not. Come back and see. We'll see what we can do. Any questions before I go down the highway? Any questions at all? Now remember, I covered a lot of material today. A lot of material. In summary, be part of the rate cut playbook. If you don't have the roadmap, look at the special we're running. If you're wanting to learn about futures, take advantage of the link and be there for next Monday. And I'll show you how to maximize everything. Anybody else got any other questions before I wrap it up? I want to come back at 3. Got some work to do, get ready for that presentation. But thank you for being here. I'm still watching Google, hadn't done anything there. Market's consolidating like we thought it would down here, but it's just not going up, is it? We talked about that this morning on SPX. Does everybody in SPX see why I said it's not a day to be buying calls or buying puts? It's a day to sell premium. Okay, just want to make sure you see it now play out. That's what the message was this morning. All right, Jonathan, that's all I got. I'll see everybody on the flip side. Any comments on the roadmap stuff I identified? We're going to get better and make it better. That's the first cut on it. But I think that we're making a real big, what I would say, a real big dent on making sure everybody understands the tools inside that roadmap software. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See everybody on the flip side. Now, Jonathan, are you going to replay this in case I want to hear it again? Or somebody going to replay it?
Yeah, I've got a replay. Hang on just a second.
Okay. Helpful for those that want to lay out the next year. It's a critical week, and this happens this week. On Wednesday, everyone expects to see our first rate cut, either a quarter or a half, depending on what he does. Frank, I hadn't heard that in a long time, but I remember when I was growing up as a trader, so to speak. Marty Swag said, never fight the Fed. That's right. What is about to start is, has anybody ever done this? Had a fire and thrown some gasoline on it? Anybody ever had a fire outside and and take some gasoline and throw on it. I know we did it as kids, so we got a little smarter, but we did that. It really gets it going, doesn't it? That's exactly what the Fed easing cycle should do. Time to pay attention. We're getting close to October. By the way, you can take this one to the bank. In a year like this, in a year like this, you haven't seen anything yet October, November, and December quarter. That is the most fertile time period. So you got to make sure that you're locked in and have the right stocks to take advantage of. You have to pay attention. Rate cut cycles are wealth building opportunities. We plan to do that. But you got to know what to do. That's why our focus this week will shift to that. Many people make the mistake, think that when rates go down, everything goes up, but it's not true. You got to be very, very careful and know the criteria to look for. You got to know where to put your money. Some stocks and some assets will go up like a rocket ship. Other stocks in this kind of environment will not do well. And others will be like a poison pill in your account, which you don't want to have. A single rate cut can create new leaders and new losers pretty much overnight. And the cost of inaction, well, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Take a look at that chart. That's not what you want to see. Red line was the Fed fund rate dropping. Here's what happened the last time it was significantly cut. Bang. That's what you want to see. The markets will always struggle anytime they have tight money policy. Question is, where do we go next? What do we do? This rate cut cycle could be the best opportunity for you in years. We haven't had a rate cut cycle been raising rates, and finally we stalled, and now we start the best phase of it. Because see how it goes? You raise rates. Bond prices come down when that happens. Now, as you cut rates, okay, prices will rise. We'll help you prepare. I put together a rate cut playbook, the roadmap to trade and invest in a falling rate environment. This is pretty important right here, what I'm talking about, so pay attention. All the experience we have over the years watching the different cycles has given us an extreme edge when it comes to this changeover. And they bring the gasoline to the fire. You'll learn the ropes of trading rate cut cycles, time in, and how to take advantage of it after that announcement's made. Whether it's a quarter or a half doesn't matter. It's the fact that we started the cycle, okay? Let's take a look at what we'll cover. 10 stocks that will outperform after a rate cut. Knowing those 10 stocks, knowing what they've done in the past when this happens, the timing that they've done it, the sectors to lead, how to filter for strength and momentum, and building your own watch list out of this. Trading the Fed meeting, how to position before the announcement, what to watch during the press conference, and timing entries with discipline. Dividends. We've been talking a lot about dividends lately, why they matter more when rate cuts are falling, because dividend strategies for stability and growth and compounding payouts in the bigger position. Everybody here ought to be very attuned to module number 3. Module number 4 is that 12-month playbook to be able to find what to do on a month-by-month rotational plan In other words, when to press harder and when to back up. We'll do these classes in 2 sessions, 2 hours each. Now, I could charge the $500 standard rate for these, but I decided to cut the price. Our track record in education speaks for itself, doesn't it? If I do this, you get your money's worth. Just listen to these love letters from some of our top students over the years. Carol said, thank you. Education is the key. She is adverse to the stock market, and now she makes her living from it. Hello, Carol. Or Deb. I want every one of you to just understand the power of what's happening. If I tell you, like I did on July 21st, to pay attention, and I tell you, now's the time to get this plan in your back pocket. It's time to get the plan in your back pocket. Carlos, what a great student he has been, changed his life. Edwin, been with me for so many years, so many years. He's here tonight. Hello, Edwin. Learn it and take advantage of it. These cycles don't come off. They paid a lot of money over the years for education, and they keep coming back, and they're still here because they're getting money. Money. Now, we cut the price of this class to half of what we normally charge. For $199, your roadmap to trade and invest in a falling rate environment. Sign up tonight. Call 904-706-3532 if you got any questions. Folks, this has been put together in anticipation of what's about to happen. We've got the game plan. The playbook will be something you can use over the next year. And this is great. Thanks, Mike, for signing up. Didn't take you long to see a bargain and a half. The class dates, I don't know if we posted that in here, but it will be, I think, not this week, but next week.
Yeah, it's next Wednesday and Friday. You had said it.
Yeah, next Wednesday and Friday. Okay.
Oh,
You have the dates for that, Adam?
that would be the 24th and 26th.
24th and 26th. And get signed up. They've done a great job, the staff has, and I'm telling you, I think it's just a timely class. You know, I like to have these when they mean something. This means something. So be there, do it, and be part of it.
Hey, Bruce, you're good. So
yeah, we're gonna do it 12 to 2, right? Is that what we're planning each day? 12
Yep.
to 2. Noon to 2.
Bruce, you're good. Just
Yeah,
take a message.
12 to 2. Pretty good stuff. Folks, I gave you the 10 tickers. I'll be there tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Don't miss that class. Everything builds upon what's going to happen this week, and this class will be the actual game plan is there. Well, thank you, Charlie. Look what Charlie said. Yeah, we try to, you know, even though we're into each week the way we are at DTI, we've always thought ahead. And this is a prime example of thinking ahead and being ready for this time period. September 17th, we'll get the announcement, and that's when the fun starts with this kind of approach. That's why we always do well. We think ahead. Got to think ahead. All right, any other questions about this week? ETH is a stock, Marge. It's one that I have traded, and if it gets above 45, it's time to get back in. Jimmy, I'll post a pivot in the morning at my standard time in TNT at 5 o'clock in the morning, after 5. And thanks everybody for joining TNT. I appreciate that. We finally got a bigger crowd in there, and I think people are starting to see the value of that. So I'll be working on the idea for the TQQ later, but boy, oh boy, you got to have a piece of that. The week open for the S&P is 66.45. 66.45 for the December S&P. 66.62 is the high that we went in the previous September equivalent. That gets you started there. Well, folks, that's funny, Charlie. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, take a look very hard at our 25 ticker list. Talk about dividends. You've got to have that as a piece of your portfolio, these dividends. Let's have a great week together. It starts as early as tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, but let's have a great week together. And don't miss Chuck's class on key numbers, Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, Joe, it has. Of course, you took it years ago, didn't you? There's an old line student that took Chuck's key number class. He's done an executive summary for Wednesday and Thursday for you this week. So that's all I got. Have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow morning. This starts the September 15th week, and you got to be happy.
Now I'm gonna replay it for people that got in late.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Thank you for coming. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Don't miss Train and Trade.